Yep, that's right. We are talking about CM Punk once again. But look, don't blame me. Don't shoot the messenger. Are you going to go to jail? Like I say, I'm just serving as a conduit to take information from over here and throw it out into the world of the internet. Also, let's be honest with ourselves. Who that is currently outside of the walls of professional wrestling is more interesting and is more intriguing than the former voice of the voices? I mean, here we are, 5 years after he left the WWE, and some fans have never left him behind. Kind of inspiring. More importantly right now though, like I say, there is news, and it's news that suggests that CM Punk may be about to go back to the WWE. Why? Here's why. The update to begin with, as Fox searches for names to help bolster out their new WWE backstage show, which is going to serve as like a supplementary program to SmackDown, they got CM Punk in, and they had a little audition with him to see if he was good, or to see if he was bad, or to see whether he'd get it up, or whether he'd get it down. The key to all that is that this is a Fox deal and not a WWE deal. Fox officials were quite impressed with CM Punk and may right now be thinking of offering him a deal, which would mean, yes, that's right, CM Punk would be back on WWE television, even though WWE had absolutely nothing to do with it. And that's why I love wrestling. It never makes any sense. Flip side to that though, I can perfectly understand how this is all coming together. If I am Fox and I know that I need SmackDown to good ratings and that I'm going to have all these other shows that I also need to get numbers, who better than someone, as we've already said, is beloved by the fans, which is one CM Punk. I mean, if I've just dropped $1 billion on a television program or on rights fees or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want. And I assume that's why WWE won't intervene and go, that ain't happening. When someone has paid that much money and is promoting and advertising you like crazy, and if you were watching the NFL over this weekend, you know that SmackDown was everywhere, you are best just to stay quiet and try and get in bed with this massive partner that, again, wants to send you to the sun. Everybody wants to go to the sun. I mean, they treated it as seriously as they would something like UFC or boxing, and when was the last time that happened for WWE? Usually, you just get some asshole in a suit in some kind of boardroom going, WWE just for the lowest common denominator. Well, screw you, person in a suit. Now let's respect these people that want to make it feel like wrestling is fun and joyous. Also, according to the Wrestling Observer's Dave Meltzer too, he speculated that this may actually be leading to WWE getting involved in offering Punk some kind of deal that wouldn't be too dissimilar to one Brock Lesnar. And you know how that goes. You don't work that much, you work a few dates a year or whatever WWE deems worthy, but then they get a cash truck and they pull it up to your house and they dump all the money on the floor. So you're not like killing yourself in the ring, because again, you're only working limited dates, but you have enough money that you can put it in a vault and swim around in it like Scrooge McDuck. And let's face it, it's not like WWE can't afford this, and think about the interest it would generate. Everybody would go crazy. You go crazy, I go crazy, you're probably going crazy right now just thinking about this. And also then we bring in the thing from left field, which is of course AEW. Now the latest with that, again according to Dave Meltzer, is that after all the fallout from Starrcast, where CM Punk wasn't exactly very favourable about All Elite Wrestling, everybody there has decided that they do not want to work with CM Punk. They didn't like the way that he represented the chain of events. He felt like it was a bit misleading, and therefore he is off the table. Now to counterpoint that, Cody Rhodes also did an interview recently where he said, yes, look, I don't necessarily agree with how CM Punk saw all of this, but you never say never in wrestling, and if we could come to a deal, the door is always open. So that's where we are with that. So let's look at this in two different ways. The first is that, yes, Fox is about to offer him a deal to come on their backstage program as a pundit, or whatever you want to call it, and that makes coming to some sort of arrangement with WWE to return as a wrestler much more likely, because you've already made the first step. It's like when the Ultimate Warrior came back. He didn't make a deal with WWE at first, he made a deal with 2K Games, and that just smoothed everything out. Also, let's not pretend that some fans aren't going to understand like the small print when it comes to this, and nor should they. They're just going to see CM Punk back on a WWE represented television show and go, oh, he's back, I can't wait to see him in the ring. So you may as well just try and make it work if you can. And it is what WWE should do. If the two can let bygones be bygones and forget the past, and I'm not saying that's easy, but I'm saying it would be a good idea, you are gonna have the weight of the wrestling world focused on Friday nights And guess what WWE is trying to do right now? That's right, they're trying to get everybody to watch on Friday night. SmackDown has moved over there. All of a sudden, SmackDown feels like the premier show in WWE, and we've never entered that territory, so you've got to do everything you can. Also, your audience does not care anymore that CM Punk and WWE fell out. They just want to see him back on their wrestling television. And look, Pyro is coming back this week, and if Pyro can come back, so can CM Punk. That's how I see it. Just to play devil's advocate a little bit though and spice up those comments, wouldn't it just be a ticket if we got to Wednesday night instead and all of this was a ruse, all of this was put out there into the wrestling sphere just to get people talking, and then CM Punk walked out on the debut episode of AEW Dynamite. Wouldn't that just be hilarious? I mean, it could happen. I don't know. I've never bet against anything in the crazy world of professional wrestling. But isn't it fun to be worked? That aside, if you are looking for mad cash and a limited schedule, surely WWE is the place to go, because like I say, they are rolling in money at the minute, and they wouldn't need Punk as much as they may need other people. If that does happen, forget about it. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you think. It goes to show there's all the evidence that we need, that no matter how badly you fall out with one Vincent Kennedy McMahon, if he thinks it's smart for business to bring you back in, he will take all his personal feelings and he will throw them out the window. And really, that's a life lesson we could all learn from. He doesn't hold a grudge. I respect that massively, even if the only reason he does bring them back is some kind of power play. It was like, ha ha, I knew you'd come back to me, pal. Doesn't matter. Some people hold on to stuff their entire lives. Vince McMahon don't give two shits. And can you imagine the viewership you'd be able to generate for both the backstage show and for SmackDown? Because you could start tying storylines and narratives in between the two. In fact, you'd probably even start the feud on that supplementary show, and then it would build to Punk coming out on SmackDown for the first time. And everybody's watching that, everybody's watching watching Tuesdays, everybody watching Fridays. We'll probably even forget about Raw. Poor Raw. I think poor Raw may be about to be absolutely, well, kicked in the ass when it comes to the draft and everything else, because the focus right now with everything is SmackDown, right down to the point that, yes, CM Punk may be about to head down that road. Now, it may not happen. There's every chance that he gets hired by Fox to be a pundit on that program, and he never even talks to anybody in WWE. I mean, that would be weird, because you're going to have Renee Young and Booker T, and then just CM Punk stood there. And if Renee Young and Booker T do not even ask CM Punk, hey, CM, you're coming back to WWE, then we're all going to know that this show is absolutely baloney. But right now, it's all out there in the ether, and we don't know which direction it's going to head. And isn't that just the way we would start the most crazy week in wrestling history, or, arguably one of them? I mean, AEW's coming, SmackDown's moving, and now CM Punk's name is back in the conversation. I can't keep up. I need to go and lay down, and I've only just had a weekend. Oh, wait, forgot one last thing that I meant to throw in there, and I forgot, so I've returned to do exactly that, because I know the sort of follow-up question to that is, well, who does he feud with? Who does he go against? Who is his first opponent? It absolutely doesn't matter. You could put him against Brock Lesnar. I mean, you're never going to put him against Triple H, that's not going to happen, but you could have him against Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. There's a bunch of dudes, even if he starts feuding with people like Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. I know, as a bit of a purist, if somebody tells me I can tune into a WWE pay-per-view and see CM Punk versus Sami Zayn, a match that I've never seen, I'm going to be all right with it. And again, if you are hiring back CM Punk just to get those lapsed CM Punk fans, they're not going to care who he's facing or fighting off either. They just want to see CM Punk, the best in the world. I mean, they have to have a feud with Shane McMahon, obviously. That is obvious. The real worry, if you are indeed a hardcore CM Punk enthusiast, is does he win or does he lose? And yeah, deep down, wins or losses don't matter when it comes to pro wrestling, even though they absolutely do. That is the whole point. But you'd have to imagine there is going to be something sketchy. There is going to be some kind of bad blood there that needs to be worked out. And if CM Punk comes back and he loses, it may be goodbye to CM Punk once again. I am excited about all of this. Now, don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about CM Punk going back to WWE. Oh my gosh, lose your mind. Go on Reddit and go, what culture are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles. Follow What Culture on Twitter at What Culture WWE. Watch more videos here on What Culture Wrestling. My name is Simon from What Culture. Thank you as always for watching. And if you want my personal opinion, I would love to see CM Punk back in the WWE. I would love to see CM Punk back on All Elite Wrestling. I mean, mainly, I just want him to be happy, so whatever he chooses to do is the right thing. But as a wrestling fan, especially as a wrestling fan that loves the surprise return, it would make me pop, it would make me happy, and also, not gonna lie, it would give me a lot of material to make videos, and that's no bad thing. But we have entered a wrestling war. When you do enter a war, you need your best players, you need your front men. CM Punk absolutely serves as a guy, like I say, who doesn't exist in the wrestling bubble right now, that you could bring back to generate some serious buzz. So why don't you do it? And again, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, we mentioned Ultimate Warrior, there'll be other people. It doesn't matter how badly you fall out with WWE. If there is a business reason to bring you back, you can come back. So really, it's on CM Punk's doorstep. Watch this space. We're gonna know very soon.